गोपीजन वल्लभा गिरवरधारी। जय गोपीजन वल्लभा गिरवरधारी। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन। जमुना तीरा बनचारी। जय राधा माधवा कुंज बिहारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय राधा कालचंजी राधे राधे। जय राधा गोविंद राधे राधे। बोलो राधे राधे, जय राधे राधे। जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा। जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय शिला प्रभुपाद की जय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय We are reading Canto 8, Chapter 20, verse number 14 to 20. It, chapter 20, verse number 14. Thank you all very much to present here and give me opportunity to read Srimad Bhagavatam in front of you. I am seeking all of your blessings. Please bless me so that my word follow Srila Prabhupada and my Guru Maharaj. And I don't say anything from my side. Thank you so much. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनाय शलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः शुभोदय कृष्णष्टागुरुतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी नामने नमस्ते सरस्वती गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे विशेष शून्यवादी Number 14. Can anybody read? Translation.
Sri Shukadev Goswami continued thereafter. The spiritual master Shukracharya, being inspired by the Supreme Lord, cursed his exalted disciple Bali Maharaj, who was so magnanimous and fixed in truthfulness that instead of respecting his spiritual master's instruction, he wanted to disobey his orders.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Although you have no knowledge, you have become a so-called learned person, and therefore you dare be so impudent as to disobey my order. Because of disobeying me, you shall very soon be bereft of all your opulence.
Okay, let's take a pause. Let's read purport here. Because although we are instructed that we should obey the instructions of our spiritual master, but here is something opposite happening, that Shukracharya is like very much mad with Parikshit, not Parikshit Maharaj, Bali Maharaj, that he does not want him to surrender to Vamandev. He knew, Shukracharya knew that he is Lord Vishnu, and he wanted to stop his disciple to not surrender to him. But he's doing that. So he became so upset with him, so he cursed him, and which is like disrespect to our spiritual masters. So let's see what Srila Prabhupada says. Gokulanand Prabhu, can you please read? Can anybody read?
Oh, no. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that Bali Maharaj was not Panditamani, or one who falsely assumes himself learned. Rather, he was Pandita Manya Jana, one who is so learned that all other learned persons worship him. I think it says and, because he was so learned, he could disobey the order of the so-called spiritual master. He had no fear of any condition of material existence, and anyone cared for by Lord Vishnu does not need to care about anyone else.
So this is the main point, actually. Although Shukracharya was playing very important role, being the spiritual master of all demons, but what was his motive? His motive was against Vishnu. He wanted to support demon. He wanted to bless them. He wanted to have them a kingdom and comfort everything. But his motive was against Lord Vishnu. That is what we should all keep in mind, that whatever things we are having in life, if it is going against the will of Lord, that is not good for us. That is all poison. And we have all right to disregard it. This is very important thing, what Srila Prabhupada is saying. Yeah, Mataji, please continue.
By Lord Vishnu does not need care. Thus, Bali Maharaj could never be bereft of opulence, the opulence offered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, not to be compared to the opulence obtained by Karma Kanda. In other words, it is if a devotee becomes very opulent, it is to be understood that his opulence is a gift of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Such opulence will never be vanquished, whereas the opulence achieved by one's fruit of activity may be vanquished at any moment.
Yes, this is the power of Supreme Lord. Actually, I'm sorry, I'm feeling little bit because you all are very senior, so please give me strength so that I can speak. Actually, I was reading from Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur's book that when he had many disciples, after spreading Gaudiya Math everywhere, after doing a lot of good preaching, that there was something happening in Gaudiya Math that some of the disciples were like just cooking and cleaning, taking rest, and then again doing the same thing, no preaching, nothing. So he was saying that this is not the dharma we are here to follow. If you are in Gaudiya Math, you should follow what is Shuddha Bhakti. Because Shuddha Bhakti say that spread Krishna consciousness purely, not only eating. That is the same thing is done by materialistic people. So if we are following Krishna, if we are following path of our spiritual master truly, we will get everything. Like in Dhaka was a place ruled by many, caste, Gosai, I should say, like many people who were like ruling that place according to their caste authority. And they were not letting Vaishnava enter into Dhaka, and they are like criticizing them. So when Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati went there, the movement of Gaudiya Math spread like anything because of his purity, because of his connection with Krishna. So that is what it happens. When we are well connected with Krishna, then the empowerment comes. Then opulence, all opulence comes. Like Srila Prabhupada came here with no money. Exactly means like we all say that he was having 40 rupees, but he never used it. So he came here without any money, and which is very scary to come to US without money. And he spread this movement like anything, and now he had big temple to live in. So that's how opulence follow us when we are follower of Vishnu. And like we would see that Bali Maharaj ultimately, when he disregarded his spiritual master and followed Vaman Dev, who is Lord Vishnu himself, he will get the residence in Sutal Lok, which is very opulent, which is lower planet, but very opulent planet. He will get all the opulence. Yeah. Thank you, Mataji. Let's read, let's continue. Text 16.
Text 15. Although you have no
16.
knowledge.
Text 16.
Text 16. Sukadev Goswami continued, even after being cursed in this way by his own spiritual master, Bali Maharaj, being a great personality, where is it? Bali Maharaj, being a great personality, never deviated from this determination. Therefore, according to custom, he first offered water to Vamandev and then offered him the gift of land he had promised.
Yes. Actually, there was every moment to get scared of, because you are cursed by your spiritual master. We can imagine ourselves if our spiritual master is mad at us, and like we have to perform something which our spiritual master does not want us to do, and we are doing it. So, but he was very peaceful. He was doing what was required here with full determination. Yes. Next.
Bali Maharaj's wife, known as Vindavali, who was decorated with a necklace of pearls, immediately came and had a large golden water pot brought there, full of water with which to worship the Lord by washing his feet.
Yes. So wife was following a husband. So this is a good sign in family.
Text 18. Bali Maharaj, the worshipper of Lord Vamanadev, jubilantly washed the Lord's lotus feet and then took the water on his head, for that water delivers the entire universe.
Actually, Bali Maharaj's mentality was like he was thinking that even if he is Vishnu, that he is doing a great job, he is playing a great role donating to Lord Vishnu. Means in any way he is not going to get the bad name. And even if he is defeated by Lord Vishnu, there is no harm. And now he is like trying to serve Lord in whatever way he can. Text 19.
At that time, the residents of the higher planetary system, namely the demigods, the Gandharvas, the Vidyadharas, the Siddhas, and the Kacharnas, all being very pleased by Bali Maharaj's simple, non-duplicitous act, praised his qualities and showered upon him millions of flowers.
Yes. So although he was their enemy, they went to Lord Vishnu because they wanted their kingdom back. They have all means they have all the things that I should say that they wanted their kingdom back. And they have enmity in their heart. But when they saw Bali Maharaj showing such a nice gesture to Lord Vishnu and doing such a nice thing, so they were very impressed, and they never stopped themselves to appreciate him. So this is our quality, divine quality. that at least for myself, I should learn from here that even if we have something in our heart, but seeing the quality of other, we should never stop ourselves to appreciate others. So that we can learn from demigod here. Yes. Text 20.
A Vaishnava should possess the rabbinical qualities such as Satya, Shama, Dhamma, Tiksha, and Ajava. There cannot be any duplicity in the character of a Vaishnava. When Bali Maharaj acted with unflinching faith and devotion unto the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu, this was very much appreciated by all the residents in the higher planetary systems.
Yes. So all demigods are Vaishnavas. So one funny joke. Actually, one time I was hearing one lecture of His Holiness Radha Govind Maharaj. So he was telling that sometime we says, "Oh Indra, oh Narada, oh this, oh that." He says that they are respectful personality. We should not just call them by name. We should say Indra ji, Narad ji. Oh, yeah. Text 20 translation.
Do you want? Here.
Yeah.
It's there on the screen. The Gandharvas, the Kimpurushas, and the Kinnaras sounded thousands and thousands of kettle drums and trumpets again and again, and they sang in great jubilation, declaring how exalted a person is Bali Maharaj, and what a difficult task he has performed. Even though he knew that Lord Vishnu was on the side of his enemies, he nonetheless gave the Lord the entire 3 worlds in charity.
Yes. This is the greatness of the Vaishnava. Actually, Bali Maharaj in last class also I mentioned that Bali Maharaj is one of the Mahajan. And Mahajans are the follower of Vishnu. Even if he was in the dynasty of demons, he was playing the role of demon, but he was Mahajan, one of the Mahajan, great devotee of the Lord. So, we should follow his path, that whatever role we are playing in our life, as a grahastha, means as we are devotee, we always think that as a grahastha what we can do. As brahmachari, a lot of people do a lot of services. At sannyasi, they do even more services. But there is always a demand in every ashram. Like as a grahastha, we have responsibility of children, society. It's not only children, society as well. So, but our consciousness should be like Bali Maharaj's consciousness. Even if we have so many reversal in our life, we should be always focused on the lotus feet of serving lotus feet of Lord, because that is the main goal of our life. Like yesterday, Prabhupada Priya was mentioning that, sometimes we say that, oh, this thing happened to our life, and we are very sad, we are upset that why this is happening to me. But after 20 years, we realize that whatever happened to us, it was just, was a silly joke. And in a way, we can feel that after 20 years, so many things changed in our life. And we think those things as very minute thing, very, small thing, which we could have neglected. But because of that time, the power of time, we were too much attached and influenced or affected by those things that we were not seeing anything else except those things at that moment. So this is the power of time. So presently we are seeing that we are so much engrossed with children, society, this and that. But still we feel fortunate when we come to the temple, or we get opportunity to sing in front of Lord, to cook for the Lord, or for doing seva. So this is all these things are bringing us towards Krishna. And Krishna is noticing each and everything. And it is not like only Sannyasi goes to Krishna, only brahmachari goes to Krishna, but grihastha also goes to Krishna by keeping Krishna in center in their life, by keeping their consciousness. Bali Maharaj was also a grihastha. He was having beautiful wife. He was a king. He was having even greater responsibility in his life as a king, as a demonic king. And he had to fight against Vaishnavas, against the demigod, which is even more difficult situation. And even after that, he was keeping his mind steady on the lotus feet of Krishna. He was serving him. He was surrendering to him. Like Bhishma Dev. We can see the life of Bhishma Dev and Vidura, how difficult their life was. Like Bhishma Dev was, he had taken a vow to help king. And king was, what kind of king he was? Dhritarashtra, who was so mad in love with his son, Duryodhan. But Bhishma was a pure devotee. Every time his consciousness was on Lord. So, Bhagavatam is such a nice subject that in every character we can see that what kind of character can guide us in our life. And they guides us. So it is very nice subject to take shelter into. So now we will focus on Manjri, is it text 14? I'm sorry, last night I was so sick that I could not see that which verse I am going to speak. And I was not even sure that I am going to give class. Mercy. Yeah, with text 14. Shri Shuka Vacha Evam Ashriditam Shishyam Anadesham Karam Guru Anadesha Karam Guru Shashap Dev Prahita Satya Sandham Manaswinam Shri Shuka Uvacha Evam Ashraditam Shishyam Anadesha Karam Guruhu Shashapa Deva Prahita Satya Sandham Manaswinam Shri Shuka Uvacha Evam Ashraditam Shishyam Anadesha Karam Guruhu Shashapa Deva Prahita Satya Sandham Manaswinam. Like to say the verse? Shri Shuka Vacha Evam Ashraditam Shishyam Anadesha Karam Guru Shashapa Deva Prahitaha Satya Sandham Manaswinam. Shri Shuka Vacha Evam Ashraditam Shishyam Anadesha Karam Guru Shashapade Shashai Prahitaha Satya Sandham Manaswinam. Anybody else? Anybody else? Shri Shuka Vacha Evam Ashraditam Shishyam Anadesha Karam Guru Shashapa Deva Prahitaha Satyasandham Manasvinam. Shri Shuka Uvacha. Shri Shukadev Goswami said, Evam, thus, Ashraddhitam, who was not very respectful to the instruction of the spiritual master. Shishyam, unto such a disciple. Anadeshikaram, who was not prepared to carry out the order of his spiritual master. Guruhu, the spiritual master Shukracharya. Shashab, cursed. Deva Pratitaha, being inspired by the Supreme Lord. Satyasandham, one who was fixed in his truthfulness. Manasvinam, who was of a highly elated character. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Shri Shukdev Goswami continued, thereafter the spiritual master Shukracharya, being inspired by the Supreme Lord, cursed his elated, exalted disciple, Bali Maharaj, who was so magnanimous and fixed in truthfulness that instead of respecting his spiritual master's instruction, he wanted to disobey his order. And purport we have already read. See, this translation is so nice. They are saying two contradictory words. That his disciple was exalted. And another contradictory, what is a contradictory word? Is that disciple who was exalted, he disobeyed his spiritual master. So we all discussed that what was the reason behind it. That he was exalted because he was Vaishnava. And he was in the lineage of Prahlad Maharaj, who was very exalted devotee. And this Bali Maharaj has a good quality as Srila Prahlad Maharaj. And he disobeyed his spiritual master because his thought process was working against Lord Krishna, Lord Vishnu. So that is the reason he disobeyed his order. So actually, 2-3 days back when I saw that I am scheduled to speak on Friday, then I thought that on Sunday we have Radha Ashtami coming up. So why not to set up our mood for Radha Ashtami? So if you all give me permission, can we discuss a little bit about Radharani? I need your permission. So, have you all heard of Kusum Sarovar? It's a beautiful place. I was reading one of Shivram Maharaj's book. That was Tab Kathamritam. So when I was reading that book, initially it was not saying anything about Kusum Sarovar, but when I saw that how Kusum Sarovar appeared, it was so beautiful, it struck me. And I thought since Radha Ashtami is coming, and I can share this pastime with all of you in the class. So, have you ever heard about Sanji? You know, Krishna consciousness is so beautiful. What is beautiful in Krishna consciousness? We all say that Krishna consciousness is so nice, we should chant and be happy. What is beautiful in it? Krishna Katha. Philosophy always guides us. You know, we have certain kind of rasa with philosophy, and it guides us, and it is very, very important. But what always, you know, give us that beauty of Krishna consciousness is Krishna Katha. So there is Sanchi festival celebrated in Braj, in that area, and we also celebrate in our home. So they make a Devi, a deity of Devi using gobar. You know gobar, cow dung and flower. They decorated with flower, water, and it is very nice. And they worship her. So some of the gopis, Ms. Radharani's friend, they went to Radharani and they says that, oh Radhe, Sanji is coming. So she was very excited. Yes, we will make Sanji, and we will make such a beautiful Sanji that Chandravali cannot beat us. So they became so excited. You know Chandravali? Chandravali was a sister of Radharani, cousin sister of Radharani, but you know, in a spiritual way, she was a rival of Radharani because she was like other side main gopi of Krishna. So, am I making sense to everyone? Okay. So, Radharani says that Chandravali should not beat us. So they said, okay, let's go, let's collect flowers. But she said, from where? They were saying that why you are doing like this? So she said that, you know, in Dwapar Yuga, deity worship is main. So they collect flowers to worship deities. So they said, in our garden, my father has saved those flowers just to worship the deities, and he is very strict. So we cannot get flower from our garden. So they became so upset. Then all of a sudden, Radharani had an idea that let's go to Pushpavan. They said, oh my God, Pushpavan? That is so far. How would we go there? We have so many things to do. So Radharani instructed them, let's go to your home, do your work, and come back quickly. So they went home, all of them. They did their cleaning work and, you know, utensils, whatever task they were delegated at home, and they quickly finished that and came back to Radharani. And in you know, at home in India, usually the young girls are engaged in household chores so that they can learn how to do things. So they came back to Radharani and they all went to Pushpavan, and that is in Govardhan. So they all went there. But since they were doing everything so quickly that their gopis' brother, they came to know about it. And when they came to know about it, they went to whom? Krishna. Because they were his friends. So they went to Krishna, and it was morning time. Krishna was still sleeping. And they were calling him. That time the houses were like this. Like open houses, story buildings, like we have story buildings. So they were standing in the court, and Krishna was on the first floor. He was sleeping, and they were calling him, Kanhaiya, Kanhaiya, get up. So he came out, and Balram was also out. So he said, you know what? We should all go to Pushpavan. I heard that all the gopis are going there to collect flowers. And Krishna was so happy. And all of a sudden he thought that if I go there with them, then I would not get a chance to talk to gopis personally. And then he thought, and he started saying, oh, I'm feeling dizzy, I'm having a stomach ache. And he was, you know, making a plan. And he went inside his room and he lay down on his bed. And he pulled his chadar on that sheet on his face. And then all the gopas, they ran in his room, and Balram also went. Balram was already there, and they all said, Kanhaiya, what happened to you? And you were perfectly fine, and all of a sudden what happened? And he did not say anything, and you know, he was just saying, means he was like pretending in such a way that he became so extremely sick, because he wanted them not to go there. So he was plotting a plan, perfect plan. So then everybody said that nowadays demon comes and Kanhaiya is the one who protects us from the demons. What if any demon come and attack us? What we are going to do if Krishna is not there? So, and Pushpavan is very far. Let us all go somewhere nearby, near Nanda Bhavan, so that we can be protected since Krishna is here. And in his mind, Krishna was very happy because his friends, they dropped idea to go to Pushpavan, which is very far. You know, what a perfect idea he was making. Anybody cannot think about it. Such a perfect plan. Like if I fall sick, they would think that way, that I would not be there to protect them. So Balram also said, yeah, yes, we should all go there nearby. And since Balram also equally powerful, but he never said that, because he is brother of Krishna and he understands all the mind, what is going on in the mind of Krishna. So he never said that I will protect you. He said, okay, let's go to somewhere near Nand Bhavan. So they all ran, they all went away. As soon as his friend left, all of them left, then Krishna got up from his bed quickly, as quick as possible, and he jumped over the window, the balcony, and he ran to Pushpavan. And Balram was seeing. So he went there. And then, meanwhile, all the gopis, they were like taking their basket, empty basket, and they reached to Pushpavan. And when they saw all bakula trees and so many variety of flowers they saw, which we think that very rare to get. And they were, surpassing all those gardens, all those forests. And we can imagine that how beautiful flowers this Pushpavan would be having if they are passing those forests and ignoring those flowers. I would let you know what kind of flower they were having. I got to read one kind of flower. So when they reached there, they were so happy and so mesmerized, having the fragrance of those flowers, seeing those flowers. And they were saying, oh, if we are going to collect these flowers, then our Sanji would be very beautiful. Nobody can defeat us. Let's go and collect flowers. And all the gopis, they spread everywhere. And they started collecting flowers. Radharani loves flowers. That's why we have flower festival on Radhastami. She loves flowers. So Radharani stayed at one place, all the Sakhi went to another place, so they just spread out. So when Radharani saw one certain kind of flower, she got so attracted that she did not notice that there is a thorn in that tree. So many thorns. So when she tried to pluck that flower, her, veil, it got stuck on one side. And when she tried to, she got, oh my God, my veil got stuck. She tried to pull her veil, and then her skirt got stuck. She got so furious. Then when she tried to, protect her skirt, pulled her skirt away from the thorn, then her another side of veil got stuck. Then another side of skirt. She was fully stuck with all those thorns. She was not hurt, but it was kind of, funny moment where it was not funny. She's Radharani. So she started calling her friends. Oh Lalita, oh Rati Manjari, oh Rupa Manjari, where are you? Oh Vishakha, where are you? Why did you leave me behind here? I'm stuck. Please come and protect me. And nobody was here. And she got so upset that nobody was here and there is no end of this misery. And when she was still continuing, calling her friend, a personality came and she could see the shadow and she got scared. And who was that personality? A Mali, a gardener. With big mustache, with turban, with a stick in the hand. So he came close to Radharani and she was scared and she was not able to say even a single word. And she was daughter of Vishwanu. She was not even married that time. She was very little. So he pulled her skirt from this side, veil, this side, that side. And she was so mesmerized by seeing this personality. She never gets attracted to any other man, only Krishna. And and she was feeling, oh, what charisma this personality is having. And all of a sudden, her friends came. And then they took Radha to her side, to their side, and that Mali was on another side. And there were some exchanges between them. I'm sorry, I did not prepare for this pastime, for this class, so I just remember some details, not exact conversation, but they have very nice conversation that this forest belongs to my king. Why did you all come to steal flowers? Why you are taking flower from without my permission, without my king's permission? They said, this forest, which kind of king you are talking about? Previously, we used to come here. There was no such king. But now, all of a sudden, how a king appeared for this forest, who is a owner of this forest. And then he said, since I am here, I need to, I can, if you apologize me, I can forgive you and let you take this. And they said, wait, this forest does not belong to a king. This belongs to Radhika. She is the owner of this forest. And he said, how can you say that? Then they started telling the feature of that garden. This kind of branch, we call it, in Hindi it's called lata. Creeper. Yeah, vine. This kind of vine looks like her hair. And, this kind of flower looks like her lips. And this thing looks like her cheeks, and this thing has a color of her hand. I forgot the details, I'm sorry for that. So then he said, wait, what you are saying just opposite. Just because of your friend, they started looking fade. Because she has taken their color, so they started looking like a fading, their color got fade. So that's how they started quarreling. Then Radharani, she said, you know what? This garden, this one belongs to Vranda Devi. And when Krishna heard Vranda Devi, all of a sudden he lost his composure. And somehow these gopi noticed, oh, this is not Mali. This is one Mali. And then they caught him. And they were very happy. And then Krishna said to Lalita that I want to braid Radharani's hair here, decorate Radharani's hair. So Lalita, in joking mood, she said that, how do you think that she would let you do this thing? Then he said, whose friend is like you, hot-tempered girl, who will not follow your instruction? Miss Lalita was so hot-tempered that Radharani, he was saying in such a way that Lalita got pleased and he gave the permission, and then everybody left except 2-3 devotees, 2-3 gopis. Like Rati Manjari was there, Rupa Manjari was there, Lalita Vishaka was there, Radharani was there, and Krishna was there. So Krishna said that I need water to sanctify these flowers. So they said, there is no water here, I have juice, we have juice. So he said, I cannot use juice, but there is Yamuna nearby. So they said, let's go to Yamuna. But Radharani said, already I am tired, it's so hot, I don't want to go. So then Krishna said, okay, you guys stay here, I'll just quickly go and get water. And they became furious that after a long time we met and you are leaving us behind here. So Krishna stayed back and he said, okay, why don't I call water here? So then he picked up his flute and he put, and he says, he begged forgiveness from the flute, that he said that I'm using you for different purpose this time, not like playing and calling. So he took that flute and he hit that flute against the ground. And that created a hole. And from that hole, the water came out. and a kund appeared, and that kund is called Kusum Sarovar. And that was so beautiful. You know, when Krishna creates something, we create, we dig, and then we do pavement, we make things. But when Krishna creates something, just by digging, because he's a Supreme Lord. One time, one devotee asked Radha Govind Maharaj that, why does Krishna have all the, please keep the bookmark where I left this story, I will forget. Why does Krishna have all the expensive jewels? Means he was talking about the Kaustuba jewel. So he was saying that why did Krishna have all the expensive items? So Radha Govind Maharaj said, do you think that Krishna is poor? Krishna is all powerful. He is all rich. Why should not he keep all the nicest jewels with him? So he is very opulent. He is very nice. He is very opulent. He has all good qualities. So if we go to Krishna, we would also get the shelter of all those good qualities, and we would get that love from him. So when Krishna put that flute hit that flute on the ground, that water came out, and all the stairs were well built with all those jewels, and water was deep, nice, with lotus flowers, fragrant lotus flower of different colors. Then Krishna took water and he sanctified flower, and meanwhile all the Sakhi, they sanctified Radharani's hair, and Krishna made the braid. And one kind of flower, the Maharaj was mentioning that he put a lotus flower studded with the jewel in the end of Radharani's braid. And I was thinking that, it is said that we cannot imagine what kind of beauty they have. By reading that, I am thinking I can never imagine a lotus flower with lot of jewels in it. So now we can imagine that what kind of flower, we can't imagine actually, what kind of flower that Pushpavan would be having. So that is a glory of Vrindavan. So Vrindavan, this Bhom Vrindavan, although it looks mundane, but this is not mundane. For realized soul, it is same as the spiritual world. Today as well, we can get these kind of flower there if we have that consciousness, if we are on that level, like pure devotee. Thank you very much. And I'm sorry if I made any comment, made any mistake and any offense against you. Thank you. Hare Krishna. But still, if you have any comment, please give it to me. Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Vancha kalpatrubhyascha kripa sindhubhyascha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavabhyo namo namaha. Ananta koti vaishnava vrinda ki jai.